For the Front Range of the Rocky Mountains in beautiful Colorado, it is Monday, September 28th, and this is Truly News. I am your host, Jason Van Sickle. I hope that you had a great weekend. It is a new week, so it is time to think and plan ahead for the things that we want and need to do in the week ahead. Don't forget to take time each week to think about things that you can do for yourself, whether it is a hobby or pastime or simply taking time to relax. We all need to take time for those things that allow us to take a break and recharge. We start each podcast with a look at this day in history. From Britannica.com, in 2008, SpaceX successfully launched Falcon 1, becoming the first privately owned company to send a liquid-fueled rocket into orbit. And from History.com, in 1928, penicillin was discovered by Alexander Fleming. Fleming was a young bacteriologist with an accidental discovery that led to one of the great developments of modern medicine. Having left a plate of bacteria uncovered, Fleming noticed that a mold which had fallen onto the plate killed much of the bacteria. He identified the mold as penicillin, similar to the kind of mold that is found on bread. And that's your look at this day in history. Now, on to the day's top news headlines. From the New York Times, Trump's taxes show chronic losses and years of tax avoidance. The Times has obtained tax return data for President Trump extending over more than 2 decades. It tells a story fundamentally different from the one he sold to the public. Mr. Trump's finances are under stress, beset by hundreds of millions in debt coming due to an IRS audit that could cost him over $100 million. He paid $750 in federal income taxes in 2016 and nothing at all in 10 of the prior 15 years, largely because he lost so much money. From Reuters, COVID-19 test rates top 25% in some U.S. Midwest states. The number of tests coming back positive for COVID-19 is topping 25% in several states in the U.S. Midwest as cases and hospitalizations also surge in the region. From the Wall Street Journal, students return to school buildings, but teachers work remotely. The arrangement is cropping up in schools nationwide as districts look for creative ways to get students back into the classroom. And from the Los Angeles Times, fires besiege wine country, 11,000 acres burned and homes lost. And finally, from National Public Radio, Pelosi prepares Democrats for rare possibility the House may decide the election. If the outcome of the election is not clear by January 6th, the decision goes to the House. Now let's take a deeper look behind the headlines at how a president is elected. From history.house.gov, the Historical Archive of the United States House of Representatives, we have the article, Electoral College and Indecisive Elections. The following includes excerpts from that article. The founders struggled for months to devise a way to select the president and vice president. Various methods were offered, reviewed, and discarded during the Constitutional Convention, which included having Congress decide, a direct popular vote, having governors of the states choose, using an electoral college, and possibly even a lottery system. The debate was long and passionate, and it wasn't resolved until the very end of the Constitutional Convention. Ultimately, a compromise was made to have special electors, individuals chosen by each state legislature, vote to elect the president. While members of Congress are expressly forbidden from being electors within the Electoral College, the Constitution requires the House and Senate to count the Electoral College ballots. In the event of a tie, the House would vote to select the president and the Senate would vote to select the vice president. In the House, each state's delegation would get one vote, so which party controls the most states, and not necessarily the most seats in the House, becomes an important factor. And that is your deeper look beyond the headlines. That also concludes our look at the top headlines for the day. It is now time for our top 5 joke countdown. Bringing us the countdown today is my friend Billy Cunningham. Billy is a comedian who goes by the stage name Potbelly. So, now I turn things over to Billy.
Yeah! Thank you, Jason. These jokes come from Reader's Digest at rd.com. I done a little skitter-scatter with some of the words just to make them funnier. I can't promise funny, but like Mama always told me before I go on stage at the Krusty Nugget Comedy Club, she'd say, "Go tickle they biscuits, Billy. Go tickle they biscuits." So remembering Mama's beautiful words of encouragement, I bring you the top 5 countdown. And our category for today is office jokes. Ooh, baby, here we go. Number 5. My boss arrived at work in a brand new Lamborghini. "Wow," I said, "that's an amazing car." He replied, "Billy, if you work hard, put in your hours, and strive for excellence, then I'll get another one of those next year." Oh, that sounds like my boss. Number 4. I can't believe I got fired from the calendar factory. All I did was take one day off. Number 3. Nothing ruins a Friday more than realizing it's actually Thursday. Ain't that right? Number 2. Why did the can crusher quit his job? Answer: because it was so depressing. Oh boy, that one actually wasn't very good. Okay, your number 1 joke of the day. It was lunchtime at the office, and the boss went to his college intern, gave him $40, and said, "Run down to the corner market and grab me a sandwich from the deli. And you know what? While you're down there, grab something for you." "Thanks, boss," said the intern. When the intern returned and gave the boss the sandwich and the change, seeing nothing left in the intern's hands, the boss asked, "Did you get something for yourself?" "Absolutely," he said. "I bought a 6-pack of beer and it's in my trunk." Oh, yeah. That's my favorite one. Oh, well, all kidding aside, folks, those are your office jokes for today. And this is Billy saying, 10-4, good buddy. Over and out.
Thanks, Billy. Not really sure what to say after that, so just moving on. We now take a look at other headlines, starting with science and technology news. From scientificamerican.com, water on Mars. Discovery of 3 buried lakes intrigues scientists. Researchers say that they have detected a group of lakes hidden under the red planet's icy surface. And from Engadget.com, NASA delays the Titan drone mission by another year. It's an ambitious project. This will represent NASA's first drone science vehicle. The drone will spend 9 years flying missions to collect samples and study the habitability of Titan, which is Saturn's largest moon. And from Science Magazine at sciencemag.com, newfound brain structure explains why some birds are so smart, and maybe even self-aware. Birds like pigeons may have the necessary neural anatomy for thinking. And those are your science and technology headlines for today. In health news, from USA Today, a coronavirus update. Global death toll nears 1 million. New York sees a rise in cases. And 1 in 3 parents won't vaccinate kids against the flu. From CNN, 5 common coronavirus misconceptions. Misconception number 1. Only older people are impacted by the virus. In fact, a new study published Wednesday on the CDC's Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report found that young adults aged 20 to 29 accounted for more than 20% of all confirmed COVID-19 cases in the United States during June, July, and August. Misconception number 2, masks don't protect you against coronavirus. How do masks work? Masks protect other people against the mask wearer's virus-containing droplets that are expelled through the air by breathing, sneezing, coughing, singing, or shouting. Misconception number 3, you can only catch COVID-19 if you've been in close contact with someone who has symptoms. Consider that studies have shown an estimated 80% of cases originate from just about 10 to 20% of people. It's not because these individuals are somehow different, but rather the situations that they're in, like crowded indoor spaces such as bars, restaurants, factories, and jails, or gatherings that bring people close together like weddings or church. Misconception number 4, COVID is like the flu. It is not. It is much worse than the flu. According to statisticians at the CDC, COVID-19 will likely land on the country's top 10 leading causes of death for all ages in 2020. If the current numbers are any indication, it's possible that it will become the number 3 cause of death in 2020 after heart disease and cancer. And misconception number 5, everyone can get a vaccine this winter. Even if a vaccine were to get emergency use authorization or outright approval this fall, there is physically no way there could be enough doses available immediately for everyone. The most likely timeline for a vaccine is the middle of next year. And those are your health headlines. In entertainment news, from our movies category, Woody Harrelson narrates Kiss the Ground, a documentary about regenerative agriculture, an alternative approach to farming that proponents say has the potential to balance the climate, replenish the water supply, and feed the world. Here's a brief excerpt from that trailer.
There's so much bad news about our planet, it's overwhelming. The truth is, I've given up. This is the story of a simple solution, a way to heal our planet. The solution is right under our feet, and it's as old as dirt.
All of our soils that are under chemical conventional agriculture are almost completely devoid of microorganisms.
Modern agriculture was not designed for the betterment of the soil.
Fossil fuels are by no means the only thing that is causing climate change. When we damage soils, carbon goes back to the atmosphere.
But when we destroy soil, it releases carbon dioxide.
Kiss the Ground is now available on Netflix. And from our new shows category, LA Finest. This series is a spin-off of the Bad Boys movies starring Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. LA's Finest follows Sid Burnett, a character from the Bad Boys movies played by Gabrielle Union, who played the original character in the movies, and Nancy McKenna, played by Jessica Alba. As police partners, they take on the most dangerous criminals in Los Angeles. Here's a brief excerpt from that trailer.
I've done some crazy in my day.
LAPD! Once broke the windows on my ex's Jeep in college.
Stabbed Jody Thompson with some scissors.
Who's Jody Thompson?
Some bitch.
Ready? Mama said I could be anything. That was the dope.
Gangs and narcotics. Robbery, homicides. Bodies dropping like it's the end of days. There's a common thread to all of this. Gabriel Knox.
The color of mocha, hear me out.
I have to go after him.
This is for real.
These people are dangerous.
Yeah. Everything we crave is 24.
Me too.
Damn! It's a party in here.
I got this.
Clearly.
Are you wearing glitter?
Beware.
We have to trust each other. Let me help you.
The app says there's a shortcut.
The app can suck it. I know LA. What the hell are you doing here?
You don't know what Knox is capable of.
I'm not playing good cop tonight.
LA's Finest started its second season last week, and it airs at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox. Finally, we take a look at newly published books. From the New York Times bestseller list, The Evening and the Morning, a fictional story by Kim Follett. This is a prequel to his previous book, The Pillars of the Earth, and it is a story of a boat builder, a noblewoman, and a monk living in England under attack by Welsh and Vikings. And that is your entertainment news for the day. As always, we end our broadcast with happy news. These stories are about the good that people are doing in the world, and here is your happy news story for the day. A 5-year-old sends Baby Yoda mascot to keep California firefighters company. Sasha Tinning and her grandson Carver recently decided to do a project that involves sending a care package to frontline workers that are fighting the California wildfires. It wasn't a big package, but the two wanted to show a little kindness and support to the brave firefighters. While putting together the box of goodies, Carver decided to send one of his favorite toys, a Baby Yoda doll. Along with the doll, he also included a handwritten letter which said, "Thank you, firefighters. Here is a friend for you in case you get lonely. Love, Carter." The simple act of care and kindness led to an outpouring of thanks from the firefighters from across the front lines, who were able to find a little lightheartedness and fun by passing the doll between fire companies. Pictures of Carver's Baby Yoda doll in different situations with the firefighters can be found on the Facebook page, Baby Yoda Fights Fires. And that is your news for September 28th, 2020. Have a great day.